On this week's episode of The Smoke Break, we sit down with Rogue Apostles radio show host James Tolson. We talk about how to get shit done, how to deal with panic, and also how to live in the present. Check us out every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio and Pretty Dope Experience Radio.
And welcome to The Smoke Break. We are here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio. You can also catch us on Facebook Live, which is probably where you're watching us right now. Check us out on Spotify. Go ahead and hit the 5 stars because we're that good. And go ahead and hit that follow button.
Yeah.
I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Amanda Lindeal.
Hi, friends.
And this week's guest, radio host, and so much more. Tell us about it here in a sec, James Tolson.
Oh, my gosh. Hi, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man.
So you do drag, right?
Yeah.
And
I just started.
You just started?
I just started.
You're this good, and
it's a long story. It's a short story, but a long story at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I do drag.
Okay. Yeah, you do drag. You produce shows. You do the Rogue Apostles radio show, which is actually
Yeah. I get to hear their voice once a week. Every Monday we record. And
what a way to describe that.
Hear their voice.
I hear their voices.
Yeah, I get to
in my head all the time.
No, I get to have really good conversations with you guys all the time, and I'm really blessed to do that. So,
Yeah.
really cool.
We are as well, and I'm super excited to have you here on the show.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's about time. I only begged to get on this show for years and years. Zane, can I get on this show? Zane, this show is so good. Can I get on this show, Zane? And Zane, you know how Zane is.
I know. I'm just like, there's so many people.
Next week, man. Next week, I'll get you next week.
They're beating down my door. But every week we like to talk to people, and I genuinely believe that I don't know everything, but I think I can learn something from everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to learn a little bit from you this week about the topic of getting shit done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, James knows a lot about that.
What a topic.
Yeah.
You're the right person for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, I think everybody can talk about the things they want. Everybody can say that, I want more money or I want more success, but not everybody does the things to do that. And I feel like you are just somebody who I watch constantly making moves.
You know what? So yeah, no, I'm doing a lot right now. I'm very blessed to be doing a lot right now.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about some of the stuff that you're doing.
Okay, well, so I don't know, almost 2 years ago, I started the Rogue Apostles radio show.
Yep.
It was me and Amanda, and shout out to John Oberg, who's the vice president of KXRW Vancouver.
Wow.
So here is a independent radio station, community-driven radio station that is also a sister of X-Ray FM. So the content that you do there goes on X-Ray FM, and so it reaches a large audience.
That's a pretty nice shared platform.
So I thought, it wouldn't be a great idea for the people of Portland to hear about what I have to say and what Amanda has to say from Vancouver, Washington.
Let me do the world a favor.
Yeah, let's do Portland a favor and
take over your radio every week.
Well, it turns out that this thing was actually pretty popular. Like we talk about fun things all the time.
Yeah.
And then we talk about some serious things, and that grew to now we have a cast of 6 co-hosts, all of them with from different aspects of life.
Yeah,
and that's the point.
And I think that's really important, and really I appreciate that a lot.
So we have this show where the older generation, the younger generation, and then it's kind of intersectional and stuff, and a lot of free flowing thinking and stuff.
Yeah.
And we bullshit a lot, but we get a lot. We talk about a lot of things that people can relate to.
Yeah. And I think that's important.
I think that's why it's popular.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. And so one of the things that unite this cast of folks are we're producers or comedians or performers, some entertainers who also have real world experience. So they come from the service industry. So you're working in the entertainment industry, but you come from the service industry. And one thing that ties those things together is customer service. Like you are
sometimes.
It's that's a whole
call it customer service. Some call it kissing ass.
So in producing.
Both will make me feel worse about myself.
We can get to them traumas later.
Stick around for part 2.
That's a whole nother show thing. But no, in producing this radio show, I learned how to kind of all of this was new to me, and I had been now, mind you, before I got this radio show, I started again in the service industry as a KJ, a karaoke DJ.
Yep, that's where we met.
Yeah, that's where we met because Amanda was working as a bartender.
Right,
we were working in this real dive bar, right?
Now I remember that. I remember that bar. I used to go visit that bar.
So here's the thing: like, what was so great about this bar was that at about 9 o'clock, it would be folks like me, Amanda, Elizabeth, some other folks that are in this bar, all very strong personalities and very gifted in customer service because we know what we're doing. We've been working with bar type people for a long time.
Yeah.
And so we learned to cultivate our own customer base years ago. We had this bar hopping. It would be like, this bar was such a dive that from the morning until the morning, it was open in the morning.
Until when people start drinking,
there was just one type of like people that were there, like kind of conservative, just
crusty old dudes, as I remember Amanda describing them.
Pirate men.
But I started working
Lots of scurvy in there.
Yeah, for real. Yep.
I started working there, and I would start like just turning on music that they hated or whatever.
Oh, I loved that.
And we just kind of turned the crowd and made our own crowd.
That's so funny.
And when you learn how to do that in such a harsh environment, when you learn how to not only deal with these tough regulars over here, but then also cultivate a crowd. So like event planning and stuff like that. Those are the ways that I learned how to get people to come together in a room.
Yeah.
And what it takes to keep their attention.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You walk in from there as a KJ, I moved into hosting the radio show and producing the radio show.
Yeah.
And then from there, we took our radio show and we were like, well, Amanda and yourself are very accomplished comedians in respect to and other things that you do. But you're so, it was always been my interest in getting into drag.
Yeah.
So, I was like, I want to start producing these shows because I remember these shows from when I was younger and what they meant to me. I've traveled quite a bit because I was in the military.
Sure.
So I've been able to see different kinds of things and know what I like and know what I don't like. But I had a vision for something. But also like how great was it and convenient was it, but also how like it went together to have my comedian friends put together this vision, and that's the birth of the Keeping It Classy drag and comedy
I
show.
think the cool thing is that like you've taken like something that like you saw and you hadn't realized that you had a need for and a passion for it, and you're like, how do I bring that into the world? It's so easy to like, I guess, just like see something and be like, that's really cool, I wish there was more of it. I'm not going to make it, but I wish there was more of it.
My thing was, okay, so when I first started, and it took a while to get the vision together, but my vision was to bring different aspects of the drag community and bring them together under one show so that I wouldn't be trying to just please one type of itch or one type of desire or one type of comfort or one type of, anything like that. I would be just doing a little bit here and there. So, in these drag shows, as in the comedians as well, I had a lot of different comedians. Now, when I first started, I had just had all women because I feel like the male comedy is very represented fully.
Oh yeah.
They're
doing fine.
They'll still have shows if you don't throw it for them.
I feel like me, when I first started those shows, I look back at all the marquees for the first 5 months.
That's awesome.
We just did
that's really
women
cool.
comedians.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? And I because that's just where I was.
Sure.
And so, that's morphed into this thing. Like I was lucky enough to be producing. To be producing and directing, what I feel like is the second, or at least our generation's renaissance as far as comedy and arts. We had the pandemic happen, and everyone couldn't do all the things they wanted to do. Some people went back to the lab and started creating. And so when I'm starting to come out and do these shows in November of 2021, a lot of young comedians are back at it, and they've got fresh stuff. And
we were actually talking about that on the episode of the Rogue Apostles. It's just like, you know, the desire to do the thing became so great because we couldn't do it that like everybody like either was like, okay, I'm either going to quit or I'm going to recommit.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that created a lot of you know, just a lot of really just great content and just like just passion, you know?
Yeah.
It's been great. I think that never before have I seen. Now, mind you, there's been some comedy establishments that didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, I think Helium's pretty much the big
it's the
big thing, you
which
know
is
what I mean?
fine.
And which is fine, which is fine because you need that.
Yeah.
You know, you need that. You need national comedians or whatever you call it
absolutely.
to come back to a place where they can bring the economy, you know, keep the economy going.
Sure.
You know, that's why that's the thing. Like you want those draws to be there because a lot of times they also book local comedians with those guys, you know, you know what I mean? It helps. It's a great help. But the local scene is just so important.
Yeah.
And so like, and that's one of the things, like, if you can believe it, I had produced a comedy show. I had produced 2 sold-out comedy shows before I did my Dragon comedy show, and Amanda was headlining, and it was called The Last Laugh, and I had been able to work with comedians, but I didn't like them. Like I didn't like them because here's the thing.
You were like, y'all got merch. Y'all got.
I was like, y'all do y'all have like? Because here's the thing. Like I studied
business,
what to do for myself, and if I want it for myself, if I'm that much and I want it for me, then I should want it for others.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's fair because that's community and not competition, which I think is very important.
The better that you are. And then you're on my show, the better that I do as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So if I'm setting you up for success, I'm setting me up for success.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's just kind of like
well, and I think, you know, like being able to you know, focus your energy properly, because I think that there's so many things that we want to do, but not all those things bring in money and not all those things bring in happiness. And if you can find an area in between where it can bring in both you know, money and happiness, I think it's you know,
I I struggle with this because a lot of times really what you need to get to a happy place is just money. Like you have to build something that is going to attract people. And that may not be like your friend who's funny. That may be this person that you may not necessarily like who's funnier. And like you need to be like, well, that's good for business. You are very funny, or you promote a lot and you have a following, or any number of things.
For sure.
Can we work together? Yeah. You know, can we share a stage or a platform together in order to do this thing that called capitalism? So that we can eventually get to a better place in life where you can do less and be happy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But it's a grind.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a grind. And I think that it's a delicate balance, being able to like figure out, you know, like what do I need to do that could eventually make me money, and what do I need to do that's going to make me money right now?
Yeah, because you got to do the short term, long term.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, simultaneously, honestly.
And that's that's one thing too. Like when I talk to my performers, when I talk to the venue, anytime I'm talking to anyone, if I'm talking about Halloween, I've already had that conversation. My it's not October yet, but all my Halloween stuff is booked, right? And so the thing is that like the earlier the conversation is, the better it is, because that's more time for you to plan and less time to make a crisis decision.
No, I think that's
you're worried about the money now.
That's
right?
a really good piece of a really good piece of advice, is like getting started now, so that way you're not like trying to do shit last minute. Because I'm very much a last minute person, and I end up with last minute results because of that. So I think that, you know, like right now, like I'm signing up for school, and it's like I need to sign up for that stuff now instead of being like, well, I mean, I can send it like, you know, like more towards
because
that's
I
had to learn that lesson hard.
That's going to ultimately, kind of screw me over.
Then you can enjoy that time leading up to going to school and be like excited and confident in that decision instead of like panic doing it at the last minute.
Is this what I want to do? Well, I don't know. I have a week to do it. You know.
Well, sometimes you get like addicted to that panic feeling.
Yeah,
right?
that's
sometimes you like do it.
It motivates me.
Yeah,
right. You're like you're making. No, I hate it. I'm addicted to it, but I hate it. Like,
like most things, I'm addicted to. All right,
we're gonna and hate it.
We're gonna take a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the Smoke Break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio.
Wednesday evenings at 9 p.m. Come explore the spaces between friends. DJ 1017 takes you into a universe unlike any other. From Pink Floyd to the Flaming Lips and anything else interstellar. The spaces between friends with DJ 1017. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Come explore with us here on Shady Pines Radio.
And we are back with the Smoke Break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Amanda Lynn Deal.
Hi, friends.
And James Tolson.
Hey, everybody.
Awesome. So on this part, I wanted to talk. We were talking about a little bit about it on the last segment. It was a little bit towards the end, but panic. Mm-hmm. Panic is something that I feel like it's something that I, like you said, I'm addicted to. Yeah. You know, it's like I feel like there's these feelings that like we feel them. We feel them in our body. It creates a chemical. We get addicted to that chemical, and we just keep like, well, I think that's how I'm supposed to feel because that chemical's always in my body.
Even in bad situations, which is really weird. I'm learning that too. It's like things that are not good. It's like, but my body is like, but that's how we do it, right? In this bad, awful way. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
yeah, very much. So I mean, I guess, how do you avoid panicking? A little bit of preparation goes into that.
Yeah, no, I prep like Batman preps, man.
You prep like Batman preps?
Put on your eyeliner.
Yeah, I prep for the even to go out, I prep for like the worst situation. So I bring like everything I would possibly need in a day with me.
Like a pocket knife.
Well,
you're
no,
batarang.
A batarang.
Like I take my laptop. I pretty much take my laptop everywhere in case I'm going to need it, because you can't do everything from your phone, right?
Very true. Very true.
You know what I mean?
No,
I take my chargers with me and all that. Like I just take this stuff with me everywhere. I was taking it in a backpack, and I was just
I think that goes a long ways. Is like always having the stuff on you, or just being prepared in a sense. Yeah, it goes a long ways towards when something does happen, you don't have to panic.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
What about you, Amanda? What do you do? Do you thrive off panic? Are you like, this is the best feeling?
I used to kind of like, that's how I would do everything in school, was like procrastinate, and at the last minute it's like, oh well, that's how I do it, and I do it well, sure, but like I could do it better. I'm also a really bad planner, so doing things kind of, I'm a go with the flow person. So in that panicky, I can get things done. But I also, like James does, I make sure that I have everything I need. So if I travel a lot, take public transportation, and when I'm out doing like comedy stuff, so I can sit down anywhere, open up my backpack, and have everything I need. There's snacks, chargers, like literally everything. Yeah. So that way it's like, if something does go wrong, or I'm stuck somewhere, I have to kill time, or I have to, take a long commute, I'm like, girl, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess like, what does panic feel like physically for you?
Oh, did you answer the question too?
Do I have to?
Yeah.
I'm so nervous.
Like, wait a minute.
So you tried to pass it up.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, hold on.
I didn't know it was going to be happening like this.
This is an interrogation, actually. It's not even an interview. What was the question?
Well, how do you handle panic?
Yeah.
Or prepare for it?
I blank out like I just did.
I avoid it.
I avoid it. I immediately deflect.
I ask someone a question.
I immediattle deflect. Start asking, dude, honestly. How do I make this not about me? It's all about you. I guess like, how do I avoid panic? I guess it's kind of
at the disco.
Yeah, at the disco. That's the only place I can avoid it, is at the disco. Everywhere else, I'm panicking. But
this is starting to feel familiar.
And we're back. We're back. But I don't know. I guess for me, like, panic is it's something that I catch myself almost using as like a motivation tool. So it's like, maybe I think I create that feeling of panic sometimes because I'm just like.
That could be why, a lot of people, that are kind of addicted to it, they kind of subconsciously kind of like sabotage themselves.
Yes.
Just forget stuff, or just like,
don't write it down, and
and then you get that moment of, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it's like a rush.
And it's a rush.
Oh no, I gotta figure something out.
You get the hair to stand up on your arms and stuff.
And you're like, I'm really good at doing this, and then
right? I'm flying by the seat of my pants. No, you don't want to do that. Really.
Yeah.
Because how do you feel after that? You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
Sometimes you feel accomplished, and then that's why you get addicted to it, though. If it works out, then you're like, this is awesome. awesome.
yeah. I didn't have to do anything the entire time. I got to do it all last second. I still pulled it off. There's no negative parts except.
I think it has to go wrong for you to stop doing it. That's probably how humans learn lessons in general.
Yeah.
But like if you always do that,
I felt like with us, like that, like missing a plane would have been like the one thing because you were never in a hurry to anything, and I was always just like, we got to be there right now, and I'm panicking, and you're not panicking.
But if we missed a flight,
but if we would miss the flight, then it would have been like,
let me share with you.
Okay, joke's on you. I've missed a lot of flights.
Like this, tell me if you like this feeling of panic. Lose your keys.
Oh no, that sucks.
There you go.
I don't have a car.
That's
so that's
real
one
panic.
key I don't need to worry about.
That's real panic. Or your wallet.
My wallet,
Like, having
Even
to
my
go
card,
back
one
to a
card.
place or multiple places to find your keys and
money,
or your wallet.
Yeah, that's something I
That
don't miss
is
about
real
drinking.
panic.
That is.
That's
that
something I don't miss
feeling
about
of
drinking.
like, am I going to have to get all my cards redone? Do I have the stuff I need to get my license?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's real panic.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now that, think about the person that's addicted to that.
That's wild.
I love losing my keys.
Yep.
Um,
Can't wait to get rid of these.
this is my kink.
My kink.
Psychopath.
No, your heart just okay. So how do you deal with like panic in other people? Like if you see somebody else panicking, are you do you absorb that feeling and you're like, oh God, I'm panicking now too? Or are you like, do you calm them down? Do you have compassion for their
It's
panic?
almost like hypnotizing them. I know that what I could use may not be what everyone else could use,
Yeah.
but I find that a very steady, calm voice, and maybe not even of just reason, just maybe of like just talking them through. You may not be able to talk them all the way back. They have to do that. Some people have to do that all by themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But like for the majority of folks, just like some very calm, just
meeting them where they're at and kind of just being like, all right.
hey, or just giving people space.
Yeah.
Some people in panic need you to kind of like fix the immediate need right there and then. Some people don't need you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to figure that out.
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
are.
Some people it gets like worse if you try and help them because they don't know how to like express what they need help with. So then it's like another thing they need to do. Like I'm panicking and I need to explain to you.
Well,
Some people can't even hear you.
Yeah.
So really, it's just more noise for them.
Yeah,
So they can't even get to it because
like-
you're adding to it.
What we were saying about, like helping somebody with panic in the way that they need to be helped with panic. So I would have like these really bad panic attacks when Amanda and I would go out, and she would be like, "Oh, like I want to comfort you." So then she would hug me. So like as
which is
I'm
my love language, not
which
his.
is her love language,
Yeah.
not so much mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not the blanket that you think it is.
Well, yeah. I mean,
this is a straight jacket help.
Yeah, this is for real.
and there could be any number of reasons for that for certain
Yeah.
folks. I have been very much in the same position there.
Yeah, where somebody's trying to comfort you, and and then you feel bad because that they're trying to help, but it's not helping. You don't know how to communicate that it's not.
Well,
so,
it's rough because like, and this just goes. There's so much behind this, but like some people just don't feel like they deserve love.
Yeah,
and so like a hug is like the epitome of
just like pulling back and being like,
so like when you feel that, it may feel the exact opposite.
Yeah.
To some people.
Yeah.
To some people, a hug's not enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some people a hug is too much.
We are. And there are any number of reasons. I mean, there's so many.
Well, that's why I think it's really important to try to like, figure out like what is helpful to somebody who is panicking. Like what would I like? Understand that what I like isn't necessarily what somebody else likes. Because there was somebody who I was talking to, and they were talking about their situation, and it was really bad. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that affected you the way that it did. And they're just like, oh, I don't want to hear that. And I was just like, okay. But the thing is like, I couldn't take offense to it just because like something that if I were to say, hey, I'm struggling with something, and somebody were to go, hey, that sounds like it really sucks. I'm really sorry to hear that. Like that would make me feel better. But just because it doesn't make somebody else feel better doesn't mean that they're wrong for, needing something else.
I think asking people what they need is really important. I'm like such a big proponent of like asking in general and like asking for consent in every situation, even if it's like, can I tell you something? Can I unload something? Can I sit here? Do you want a friend right now? Because sometimes like if I'm feeling panicky or anxious, I want to be alone. And I have this thing where people want to tell me their fucking problems and sit next to me, which is great if I can handle that.
Space for
but
it.
if I want to be alone and people sit down and like dump their trauma on me, I'm like, bitch, I'm carrying my own shit. It's heavy.
Yeah.
Like I set it down so I could relax, and then you're like, here, hold this, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we got like 5 minutes before we wrap up. So I just want to ask the question, like, what is helpful for other people to do? Like, if you're panicking and I wanted to help you feel better, like, what could I do to support you?
My Venmo is Tolson.
No, do it.
-2.
Bitch, better send me money.
Will you type this in real quick?
Don't you type that?
2 at the
No,
end.
listen.
Yeah.
No, listen. It depends. For me, it depends on the day. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Most times, if I don't want to be around anyone, I'm not around anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think most people are good at, doing that. Sometimes a crisis doesn't arise until a crisis arises. What do you do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know you're there till you're there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some people it takes longer to figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just depends on the day. We're very simple yet complex animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally feel that. I think that like it's important to say that like it really does depend on the day sometimes because like some days it's like maybe I need a hug. Some days don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some days it's maybe I want to be asked questions to try and like go through what I need to do or what I've tried.
Yeah.
Some days I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really cool. Amanda, what about you? What could I do to help you feel supported if you were panicking?
Ask me that question if I'm panicking because we were just talking about that. But I don't know how to answer it now. But in that moment, if you're like, what do you need? How can I help? I might be like, I need some space, or hey, I need to talk to someone. Is it okay if I like let you know what's pissing me off right now, or stressing me out, or making me sad, or whatever?
Well, I feel like a lot of the problem is like when people assume how to help.
Yes.
It's like when people are like, I'm doing this and it's helping. It's just like, well, it's actually not helping. So you're not only not doing what you think you're doing, but you're doing harm.
Well,
yeah.
And
that's
the thing
tricky.
is like we're imperfect. So the person that's looking to help you may not even be in a situation. They may want to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
But they may not be
But
in the capacity to do such.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that
it might be harming, like
and
you
my point being would be that like it's to no fault of their own, unless they literally know that like this isn't helping. They're like, I want to do it anyways. But it's like I think that because communication is such a tricky thing, and because we don't communicate how we want to be handled. My mom always says this. She's like, you need to come up with like a crisis plan. And I'm just like, what is that? And she's like, when you go into like whether you're having suicidal ideation or you're dealing with, bipolar, like mania, psychosis, when you're dealing with all this stuff, I need to know how to deal with you. And we never really set like an action plan with our friends. Like if I were to text Amanda, hey, I'm feeling suicidal, and I already gave her an action plan of like, hey, if I'm feeling like this, this is how I want to be talked to, maybe I need a kick in the ass, maybe I need maybe I need a shoulder to cry on. But I think it's really important that we kind of set ourselves up, for when we do fall, because it's an inevitable thing. But if we spend so much time, being up that like when we do fall, our friends don't know how to help us.
That's an incredible way. I don't know if that was incidental or not, but that's an incredible way to take a kind of a appraisal of your friendships.
Yeah.
We use the word friend way too often from what it actually means. And I think technology has helped us do that. So like just approaching someone with that will surely let you know
if they're
even ready for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's if we're going to be friends in any capacity, if we are going to maintain a relationship, I need you to know how to deal with me when I'm in this, because like a lot of people panic. If I say I'm in a psychosis and you don't know what a psychosis is, then it's just like, what do I do? Am I tripping you out? And it's just like, so just taking that time, I guess, like ahead of time, whether it's with panic or any other emotion, just taking that time ahead of time to be like, hey, if I'm feeling like this, what would be helpful to me is if you did this.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a hell of a step too.
It is.
Absolutely. Won't doubt.
That's great.
Well, we're going to take a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the Smoke Break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio.
Patches, come here, boy. I love Patches, and that's why I love Patch Dog.
Hey, Dad, were you calling me?
No, I was calling the dog Patches.
Yes, Father?
Oh, not you, honey. Patch Dog makes custom iron-on embroidery patches. I can give them my design, and in a couple weeks, I've got custom patches. They can be of my daughter Patches, my son Patches Jr., or even my dog Patches.
Yes, dear.
No, that's Patches, my wife. I'm just making a commercial. And because Patch Dog loves you so much, use the code SPR10 for a 10% discount.
Yay.
And you know they've got that free domestic shipping. For more information, check out patch.dog and fall in love with Patches like me.
Did you
Yes,
call me?
dear.
No, I'm making a commercial for Patch Dog. Come on. Patch Dog.
And we are back with a smoke break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Amanda Deal
Hi, friends.
and James Tolson.
I keep forgetting there's a camera there.
Hey,
I know,
it's all
right?
good. It's all good. Hey, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're looking pretty somewhere. So every week, I like to ask a question from the game Let's Get Real, Bro. And this week's question is, in one word or visual, describe how you feel in this exact moment.
Is it me first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
We never really try to assess how we feel in this very moment. I feel like even when we ask people how are we doing, it's like we think about the past.
Yeah. It's
It's an
like,
interesting
what are you
prompt.
excited for? It's
a real
asking
question,
about
right?
what's in the future.
It's true. Yeah, this was like
Yeah, you
In
stalling,
this exact
Zane?
moment. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm trying to deflect. Now I know exactly how I'm feeling in this moment. I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable because, I know that I'm surrounded by people that I enjoy, by people who want to see me succeed. I feel like everything has lined up in the way that it has for, moments like this, and I need to make sure that I'm taking more of an inventory on, the present moment, because we spend so much time trying to get to a place that we forget to enjoy that place because there's another place after that, I don't have time to enjoy this. I've got another thing to go to.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool question. Amanda, how do you feel in one word
Or visual.
or visual? Yeah.
A visual
Swirly.
learner. In this exact moment, I definitely feel calm. I was feeling kind of panicky today, but I knew this is going to be a good episode because I work with both of you pretty regularly on radio and just in life. And
Juice bars.
yeah, juice bars. Dear Lord. I don't know. I guess just calm, which is nice. It's nice because I think we don't always recognize how other people make us feel. Sometimes being around people makes you feel a certain way, and then you're just you don't really connect those dots necessarily. There's some people that I had stopped talking to because they would make me anxious.
Yeah.
There's things about them that just make me uneasy, and maybe they're not even a bad person. It's just the way that we vibe. It's there's not a calm there. Whatever they're feeling, they put on me, and I'm ugh, I don't like that. But with people that you feel calm, I guess just comfortable goes with that too.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable with them and they make you feel calm, even if they're having panic or a bad day, it's not like they're throwing it at you. So, I don't know. I feel calm around both of you and comfortable and pretty chill. And I'm sober. I could
Whoa. Chill, sober. You don't get all these extra words. Whoa.
I'm
Back
just
off.
saying. Usually I
We
need
have to
something
figure out how to
take the
stretch
edge
this
off.
one word prompt into the next 15 minutes. So James, go ahead. You have to fill the next 14 minutes with your answer,
So
with your
this
one
is
word
like-
answer.
This is like my other show.
Is this time?
No, surreal.
Surreal.
This is surreal for me, and this is kind of a serious moment. I don't talk about this much with you, with you two or anyone in the other cast or anything, because it's a very full, colossal feeling. Amanda, you've been doing comedy for almost 10 years.
Yep, 10 years.
10 years.
Mhm.
And we don't think about this, but I've known you, I think 6 or 7 of those years now.
Probably. I moved here in 2017, however many years that is.
Yeah.
5
Yeah. Oh,
plus.
okay.
5.
Five years.
Mhm.
And Zane, I've known of you for quite a while
Mhm.
and then seeing your work. So I've been, and we started this radio show together. And you even think about what we have accomplished
Mm,
in the last year,
yeah.
Mhm.
then go back,
Yep.
pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
where I knew where we all were. This was, come on.
Yeah.
Never
And so,
would have thought all three of us in this room.
You
That's
know,
true.
and I've had to do a lot of work in just the last year and a half to actually kind of catch up, if you will, and see what this is, how hard this is.
Yep.
And, with all the successes that I'm having, which I'm thankful for, to kind of recognize how hard this is, you know, to just be sitting here doing this interview with y'all.
Yeah.
This is very surreal.
Yeah, it
you
is.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, come on. A year and a half ago, this wasn't. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like a video podcast. Like I never would have thought of that. You know, like I never
and
would
on
have
the radio.
Yeah,
And
on the
I just
radio.
saw you
2
in
different radio
Chinatown doing
shows,
a show.
possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just did a show in Vancouver.
I
You're
just
going
did
to
your show.
Idaho. You're going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to Chicago. You just came
Yeah.
back from Chicago doing
Yeah.
shows, right? And you came back here.
Yeah.
And
Well-
you got shows that you're hosting, each
Yep.
of you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is,
No, surreal. I think that's definitely a really good word for it. I want to just talk about like the present, just because that's something that it is a moment I do not live in. I try to escape it so much. I try to escape it so much. I don't know if there's just like there's comfort in thinking about the past, or like, just hope for the future that like just keeps you from like never truly being like, I'm here right now. Like nothing else matters. There's nothing else I can control. Like if shit's going wild out there, there's literally all I can do is wait for it to come in here.
Please don't come in here.
Yeah, bro. Is everybody else?
I don't need
Can
this
everybody
in my
breathe?
life.
Is it hot? No, but I think that the present moment is just, it's such a, so do you live more in the present or the future?
I like how you cut off your sentence about living in the present
Yeah.
to ask if we live more in the present.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good segue.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
segue,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
You did the thing.
I winked at
I'll
both
talk
of you
about-
and I
Yeah.
split it.
You
yeah.
take it, Amanda. Why not?
Do I live more in the present or the future?
Yeah.
Or the past? I guess there's 3 options. Or no? Okay.
Well, I mean, I assume nobody lives in the present because they keep telling us to live in the present. I keep getting the Facebook messages.
I gotta be honest with you. I am distracted. I do get distracted still a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Like I do catch myself off in a gaze, doing that. But I think that since I've, started doing the things I like to do, it's in those things that and they're still hard work and they still bring me headaches and,
Yeah.
but like when I'm doing the work that I like to do, that's what puts me in the present.
Put you in the present.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I'm down or out or whatever, I'm thinking about what I could have had or what I've done or whatever. Those are those moments that distract me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
And you can't even really do the thing that you're doing right now at its best at its highest capacity because you are preoccupied with either what happened or what could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. All right, Amanda.
I would say I probably am more like likely to kind of think about the future because I'm, planning stuff, booking stuff, trying to grow as a person. But when I have my alone time, when I'm not on stage, it's when I'm, maybe do a little edible, go on a walk with my dog, don't have my phone on me. Like the phone is it pulls me from the present every second that it's in my hand. So to not have that and really just like go on a walk with my dog or like do yoga, those make me feel present and grateful, just like sit around and be grateful for what I have. Also being on stage, it's impossible to not be in the present when you're on stage or performing.
Yeah.
So that is like,
I beg to differ. I make it pretty, I can imagine. I can be plenty places, plenty more places than the present.
Yeah, and I found that like performing sober, which was such a big scary thing.
Yeah,
for a while,
definitely.
Now it's like I enjoy it because I can like edit and plan in the present. That doesn't make sense, but like I'm kind of like editing while I'm doing it almost. So it's like it feels very present. Whereas if I'm just like super drunk, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and if I'm stoned, I'm like oh no, like
wait
there's a sweet
minute,
spot.
no, come on,
Yeah,
not so bad.
Yeah, I mean just a little bit.
Yeah,
not so bad for me.
No. I definitely think that like performing is one of those things that like when I'm doing my best is when I'm my most present. It's when I think about that last joke didn't work or how do I get to this next part that like I really start messing myself up. I feel like if like for example, I've wanted to do like crowd work. I wanted to do more crowd work. I love asking people questions. Why the hell don't I ask the audience a question and try and get something out of it?
We're
right?
all scared of that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But to do that, I would have to be in the present.
Mm-hmm.
I have no control over what they said. I have no control over what they will say. All I can do is control this moment right here. So it's such a scary thing for me.
And there's ways of doing crowd work where you can sort of guide, or you have like a whole like filing cabinet of things you can pull from.
yeah.
So you can kind of still be in the present, but also have enough like material back here to be able
I
to
wouldn't
make it
go
work.
up the no, what is it? It's the no material November, whatever the hell they do.
Is that a
where
thing?
It's a comic had started it where it
really?
was just like the local one would do it like you would for a month. You would just go up with no material and just talk.
Do you know who it was? I know Tori Ward is
Dan
doing that
Weber.
for some. Okay, yeah, Dan Weber. I know Tori Ward is doing that for the whole month of September, and it's been so cool to watch her do that because she'll just be like, "Look, I'm more scared of you than you are of me." Like she's up
absolutely.
there. Like
I
comedians
just
are
saw her
terrified
do
to do
that at the open mic.
Yeah.
And
It's impressive.
It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally the only comedy that I do. Right, I don't write any jokes.
That's true because you just host
I
and
just
you pull from the
host.
audience and talk
And
to
I've
them,
talked
and
to
you're
the
so good
audience.
at it.
Yeah,
That's just
maybe.
what
Yeah,
I
well,
do.
maybe I can learn a
But
can.
thing too.
even I'll tell you though, like I go up there with but I go up there with a frame of mind
Yeah.
of where I'm going. It's too hard to just think of anything.
Yeah,
right?
just anything from out of
know what
nowhere.
I
No,
mean?
like I definitely like when I get in like Lyft rides or whatever, like I have like a set of questions where
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Same.
and it's basically, it's very like I steer the conversation. Do you do this? No, you don't do this. All right, that leaves this question, this question, this question. So it's like I have it like in a bracket system
And then
almost.
you can pace yourself too, man. You know what I mean? Like you're a human being. You're not just out there just spitting out jokes and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
No,
Like,
no,
I
no.
take my time. I'm stoned when I do it.
Well,
too,
we had Ike's on, and Amanda had made the comment of when Ike's was on that like when he's up there, he just like sits in it and is just like, you know what? If I'm here long enough, comedy will happen. You know, and it's like
What a mindset to have, because most people are like, I need to make comedy happen right the fuck now. If it's not right now, then everyone's gonna hate me. And it's not gonna be funny. I'm gonna be terrible. Blah, blah, blah. You know, spiral.
Exactly.
But he's like, eventually, you'll get there. It's like, hell yeah.
That's what I shouldn't even say this, but
Do it.
I have notes on most all comedians I book, all performers I book, but even like perspective, just like if I go to a show and I have the name down, and it's kind of accumulated into like how I book folks for like seasons and stuff. I mean, come on, like
for sure.
you know, it's a finite. There's not infinite thought out there. A lot of folks have like themes, like women talk about more women issues, and and stuff like that. So like if I'm going for a show that's leaning one way to a crowd, I know how to book that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like Ike's is very much like he will sit in a silent moment more than anyone else I know.
Exactly.
It can get awkward and that's kind of where he thrives.
Yeah, and that's what
you know what I mean. He'll take it that extra. He'll take it the extra 5 seconds
where you're like sitting there and
you would have already moved on, and then you hear it, that extra little bit of laughter that comes out of it. And I think he lives for that. Those awkward moments I've seen him do.
Yeah.
At those mics.
Yeah.
You know you're going to see that on stage. You do it and you do it too to a point. Like you.
Yeah.
Y'all have certain.
But I'll speed through stuff if I feel like it's not working, and I feel like the real skill is in sitting in that silence
Being
and
present.
allowing it to be there, allowing people a second to get the joke. You know, allowing people a second. Yeah, being present. Absolutely. Yeah, you can't just be like, I don't think it went well. I need to move to the next thing. It's just like
I've seen people
let's
power
wait.
through. It's
Let's
not.
wait.
It's not. It doesn't look pretty if you're not like if you don't mean it. If you're a fast talking comedian, that's one thing. But if you're just saying things very fast,
because you're just you're like that didn't work. I need to get out.
You eventually crash.
Yeah, definitely.
And everything just comes to a halt, and then you got to kind of like recalibrate.
Yeah, well, even like just like talking over laughs and stuff. People are nervous, or they have like a competition set. They don't want to like burn their time or whatever. So you got to prepare for that. But like sitting in that and like waiting until the laughter's done before you talk again, so you're not like stepping over your next
really
joke.
Good.
Yeah.
And it feels great too.
Yeah.
You know, people will feel that wave of energy too. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure. I guess for me, as far as living in the past or the present, or not the past or the present, that's I can tell you which one. The present, or excuse me, the past or the future. We got there. We have 1 minute. I swear we'll survive it. So the past or the future. I'm more of a past person. The future I have no control over, but I probably have more control over the future than I do the past. And I made a commitment to myself last night, though. I will say this. I did make a commitment to myself last night that there is a chunk of my mind that I've been devoting to something that I cannot change. And I'm not going to, the second I catch myself thinking about it, I'm just going to be like, nope. And just shut it down. And just shut it down. Like, I do not have time for that anymore. I have made too much time for it already, and I am not committing any more to it.
Yeah,
yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you. And it was a lot thanks to you, because
just set it down.
You said, how do you asked me a question earlier. You say, how do you help? How do you know? How do you help someone in crisis? You know what I mean? And a lot of that is just listening to you and then just giving you honesty, but not honesty in a way where you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
Like just give,
not too nice and not too much of an asshole. Just, be a nice asshole.
And be consistent.
And consistently nice.
And yes.
Oh yeah.
We had to bring it back.
Yeah, we're getting to my part of the show.
Oh my God. They have no concept of that, so they're going to be like, what? Check out my Instagram.
They will.
Now I have to post it. So we're going to take a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the Smoke Break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio and Pretty Dope Experience Radio.
We captured the taste and sound, only here on Open Country. Sundays noon to 1 with your host Anti-Vandal. Folk music with Anti-Vandal. We captured the taste and sound on this Open Country. Noon to 1 Sundays with your host Anti-Vandal. Here on Shady Pines Radio.
And we are back with the Smoke Break. We are here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio. I'm your host, your old pal, Zane, here with the Mandolin Deal.
Hi, friends.
And James Tolson.
Hello, everyone.
All right. So this is my favorite part of the Smoke Break. The question that is always on my mind and the one I'm always excited to hear about is, what are you excited for? What are you excited for? Who wants to go first? Who's excited about being excited? Go
ahead, man.
Talk to me.
There's a lot of not wonderful things happening in my life right now, but I'm very excited for change, even though it's really scary. It might be moving. I'm not sure about that. But it's a good thing, I think. Sometimes, like, I am someone that kind of rolls with whatever happens, but then when you're like forced to change or move or whatever, it sucks. It's not fun. But I think that there's always good that comes from everything. Like, even bad situations, it's like, well, that had to happen for me to grow, for me to move on, because we get in comfortable situations that are not healthy, but that's all we know.
Well, you had to be so uncomfortable that it caused you to change.
No shit. Yeah. And that sucks. And I'm trying to get better about like recognizing that discomfort and like feeling those things and trusting my intuition and being like, this doesn't seem right. I'm going to walk away from that instead of being like, it's okay, I'll just stay here forever and I'll be fine until it blows up in my face. That's clearly
multiple times.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I mean, lessons are going to get like, we're going to keep repeating until we learn.
And they're going to get more intense until until it clicks, because it's like the universe tried to give you a sign, hey, this isn't working. And then it was like, hey,
breadcrumbs and then a punch in the face.
You followed the breadcrumbs to
punch in the face by reality.
But I think that's it's important to, even when you're in positions like where you have to change, to like to be accepting of it and to, at the same time be open to it, because, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to change, like I just shut down. I'm just like, no, it's supposed to be this way. And it's like my perception of the way it's supposed to be makes change this like really difficult thing to navigate.
You got to kind of roll with it. And
you really do.
I'm fine with that. It's just like a lot of unlearning, which is really strange. But I mean, it's important. We need to like learn how to love ourselves and how to unlearn like patterns and behaviors that were harmful, and to just like recognize it and go, okay, I don't want to do that, because it is weird how the things we get addicted to, even like trauma and pain and panic, and like it's really weird that you think that that's good, and then you like seek out bad things, and you're like, but this is good for me, and then it's
or at least normal
or comfortable. I think
comfortable.
Comfort is a weird place to be in, because it's like we all should be able to relax and feel comfortable, but we can get like sucked into this vortex of like we don't want to change or grow. Or move basically out of this thing that's not helping us anymore.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think it's cool that you've come to a place where you've realized you've outgrown a situation, you've outgrown certain people, and you're ready to open yourself up to new situations and new people.
Yeah, and accept that like I deserve good things, which is also really hard to be like, I deserve to be happy. I shouldn't.
I like to hear that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't. I shouldn't be comfortable being
uncomfortable.
Or miserable, and think that that's all I get.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
It's as good as it gets.
I'm like, well, no, there's more out there, and I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah. All right, James, tell me, what are you excited for?
Man, I'm excited about everything, man. I'm excited about the future. You know what I mean? Like, just seeing you two here, I mean, your audience wouldn't know this, but you guys are on, again, you're on the Rogue Apostle radio show. So like just seeing the progression of what we're doing, and then the other things that we're doing. Yeah. And then the hard work that we're putting in. And then, not everything can be good all the time.
No. Yeah. God, no.
It can't. It can't. It just can't be good all the time. And so like, you're going to go through some shit. And you're gonna have to get through it, and you got to like learn. Well, we hope, Yeah. And you guys are on, wherever you feel you are, just from like an outside perspective. Yeah. I've seen you do so much in the last year, and just like the trajectory of where you're going and what you kind of got out of, and then like the last remnants of what you got out of, trying to claw you and get you back in, and you having, I used to, when I was younger, my mom, she went to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I would only learn in the future, what the repetition was for, because we're creatures of habit. Right. And so everything is repetition there. You show up to these meetings, kind of, twice a week, and, you say the same things, and you go through feelings and stuff like that. But they have this saying is, accepting the things that you can't change, changing the things that you can. And this very important part is the wisdom to know the difference.
Yes.
So like, you have to know how competent you are to recognize that you can change this, or you can't change it, or you can change the way you feel about it.
Yeah.
That's the wisdom you need. You know what I mean? And like, these situations, like, everybody can think back to like their first or second or whatever partner, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, right? And like what you were like in that, in that situation. Yeah. Those traumatic experiences that you have, relationships with everyone, your that person, your parents, whatever, they've shaped you to who you are today. To meet like, can you imagine if you were at like, if this were a video game and you were like the first level boss, but you got thrown in fucking level, how old are you? 35.
Yeah.
Deal with this. Like, you had a cheat code to just like you would explode. You had no experience for that, right? But like, you have to understand, like, that's why every challenge just seems so much harder, is because you've learned so much more.
Yeah. Well, I mean? And I think just even having the perspective of like, like you trained for this day, like by being you every single day.
Think
you
about
trained
the days
for
you
this
almost
day.
didn't make it.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about those days.
Oh yeah.
Like if you want to be real, think about like those dark, lonely moments.
Yeah.
And yet here we sit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why it's surreal for me, because like, I know I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so many opportunities for this to not line up. The fact that it did, I have to take a second to really appreciate.
Me or the love of my family or friends that like help forge me into the person. That I am like right now. Now, will there be tough times ahead?
Hell yeah.
Surely there will be.
Absolutely.
Surely as death and taxes.
Yeah, you just.
But like, like, every time you get up, you're like another person, like, and I would hope a better person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, I think that, Yeah, just even just appreciating like where we've come from, you know, because I think it's important to take in the present moment, and I think if you are going to look at the past, it should only be with the intent to see how far you've come.
Yeah,
you know, like
not dwell on the things you can't
tricky
change.
Thing
it's absolutely tricky. You know it's hard not to dwell on it.
We fall in love with the novelty of the past, of like what we consider to be like a more innocent time.
Yeah. That's very true. Yeah, so it's looking to the past without like over romanticizing it,
right?
You know,
but
like seeing as like, you know, if I look like 10 years ago, I was smoking meth, you know, in a fucking trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to smoking meth in this studio, you know, like I've really come a long way.
Are we? Is that what's going on? Wait a minute. What's
the smoke break? You didn't know?
Wait, is that why it's called the smoke break? Are we? I wasn't prepared for this. Wait a minute.
What are you excited for? More meth.
More meth. Yeah.
I can't take this smoke break. I have shit to do today.
And you're going to get it done and more. But yeah, I think we've come a long ways, and also haven't.
I didn't know this was the trajectory of success.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
Oh my god.
Through years of practice, I got really good at smoking meth in different places. You can be me, all right? So what am I excited for? More meth. Okay, let's see. I'm excited for I have a show tomorrow.
Nice.
I had a show last week. It was a comedy show, and I canceled it. And here's the deal: Amanda's known me. I don't cancel anything. I don't cancel the smoke break unless there's not even when I should. I don't miss the smoke break unless I don't have the guests. I don't miss shows unless I physically can't be there. Like those are the only things that stop me, is literally not being able to do it. And I took a day where I was just like, you know what, like. I'm not feeling it today, you know? And I feel like performing is such a thing that like, if you aren't in the moment, like we were talking about earlier, like if you're not like in that moment and you're experiencing it and you're enjoying it, then like people can see that.
Yeah.
You know, like you're literally watching me wanting to be somewhere else in my eyes while being in front of you, which makes you want to be somewhere else.
You can't fake that.
And now it's making me feel worse about, so it's
really tough with comedy too, because like you're supposed to be making people laugh. If all you want to do is fucking cry.
Yes.
Oh man. Even your show on Sunday, I was having a rough day.
I had, and that's why you always get booked, because I've booked comedians on my shows, and they went up there and it was just, it was kind of like a therapy session. And the thing about it is that like in an open mic, that's, you know, you do.
You're trying out.
I've already researched you and seen what you can do. So like, that's what I hired.
Don't surprise me with some sad shit.
Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, I
this show is called The Queen of Fun. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What you doing right now?
Yeah. The king of sad.
Yeah.
Help me out.
I think we should do a dual show with the king, the Queen of Fun and the King of Sad.
One is definitely going to carry the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
The king of sad is just an open mic. An open mic anywhere.
Right. I'm starting an open mic is what I'm saying. But, you know, I think that, you know, it was something that I needed to do. And the next night I actually went to a comedy music show where I performed with Amanda Lynn Deal.
Yeah.
And it was, I like got up there and I did my music, and it was just such an energizing thing to be like, because I had like probably like a month and a half ago, I had gotten on stage and done music, and usually like music is the one thing that like I can fake my way through, and I'm just like, oh man, you know, I can get up there and just, you know, just bring the energy. And it was like, it was such a depressing set that I was like, I don't even know if I want to do music anymore. But I got up there, I did music, I had a blast, like it energized me, it filled me with that like, oh yeah, this is why we do it. Like not because of the sad days you don't want to do it, but because on the days that you're happy and there's nothing else you would rather do. So yeah, I had a super great show. So I guess the thing that I'm excited for is just whatever I said earlier, you know.
You're excited for, you have a show coming up this weekend.
I have a show coming up tomorrow. That's what it was. Yes, tomorrow. I have a show coming up tomorrow, and I'm excited just to like go into it with just a new mindset, new perspective, and like I said, you know, just leaving the past where it is, you know, and just
that would be awesome, because you're
moving the hell on.
Talented, man. Yeah. That's what kills me. It's like I work with some of the most talented people in the Pacific Northwest, and I know it. And the thing is that like
They're the only ones.
They're the ones stopping themselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a lesson to be like, I'm the one in my way.
themselves,
Like, you can blame everyone else for being in your way or why you're not
They
successful,
can
but it's
have
you.
20 people come up to them after a show and say, "You were great, you were great, you were great."
Yeah.
And then they'll have
go home and say,
one
"I'm
detractor
shit."
and be like, "I'm," and it could be their only detractor.
Exactly. Oh
And
no,
just be like-
I'm very much like,
You know what I mean?
200 people could tell me it was an amazing EP, and one person could be like, "Oh no, I thought it was kind of boring," and I'd be like, it's probably bad EP. No, it's,
And you got
one
that-
person can't be wrong.
That one seed of doubt, and it just blooms into a tree of despair, and it's just crazy. It's
I like
just
that analogy.
you can't allow it. Like,
But
still
don't
be
water it,
critical
'cause
of
you're watering
yourself
that
and make
seed.
yourself better. Yeah, and that's right there. And you can be critical of yourself, and then you have all these thoughts that like have nothing to do with that. They come from different aspects, past things you've done, or bad thoughts you've had, or fake scenarios.
Yeah.
And you just water this seed, and they just like, and that can just. It's a cycle, because then that thought process feeds into your work, and now your work suffers because of that thought process.
Yeah.
When the original thought was that it came from something good, but you planted the seed.
Yeah.
Now you're watering this whole.
Yeah. Be careful what you water.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that has been the Smoke Break. We are here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Amanda Lindell
Bye, friends.
and James Tolson.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you so much for hanging out.